April 25, 3064. The Nest, Bemidji Canyon, Galatea, Lyran Alliance. "Come with me," Rookwood said, wiping the blue streaks of actuator lubricant from his thick fingers with an old rag and a practiced twisting motion. Behind him, a team of Black Sparrow technicians in the same Navy overalls were winching the armor assembly back into place over the knee of one of your mechs. Aside from the patches of primer gray that betrayed the presence of new armor platings, it looked to be as battle-worthy as ever. Under the circumstances, hidden in a remote bivouac with only supplies they'd brought or that you'd scavenged, it was a minor miracle that your force was still as intact as it was. Other units would kill to have had Black Sparrow's tech support in the chaos, and of course, they had. Rookwood led you into the back of the nest, down a ramp mouth lipped with hazard stripes and a row of parked forklifts. The natural tunnel narrowed and lowered until a mech couldn't possibly have fit, and ended in a prodigious set of blast doors, which were presently ajar. He motioned you through, shifting you both onto an elevated pedestrian path lit by a string of overhead lamps while the roadway below remained in shadow. You've been to the ammo bunker before. The nest was too small for anything in it to be classified, and everyone pitched in when it came to getting repairs done. You'd a solid guess about what Rookwood wanted to show you, and when he threw down the oversized lighting switch just past the final door, you were regrettably correct. Rows of shelving stretched out into the cavernous space, revealed one by one as the banks of lights came on in sequence. But that's all there was. Aside from the occasional opened crate and the tidy piles of empty pallets, the nest's egg was spent. Sure, nearest the entrance were a few untouched stores, but they were mostly items your mechs didn't use. Rookwood leaned on the railing and let his shoulders hunch as he allowed his body to sag into his arms. "There you have it," he said. "Winchester. You know, I'd planned for a full year of hiding out here, plus some margin for error, but we're far ahead of schedule. The intensity of fighting has been beyond my expectations. If I'd known, I'd have made plans to move us off-world again, just like when we left Trell. Learning moment, I suppose. But where do you go in a civil war?" He looked back at you, a tired face striped in shadow from the actinic halogens. "Which is to say," he went on, "sadly, Black Sparrow can no longer uphold the supply clause of our contract for a further extension on our existing terms. Technical support, of course, we have in spades, but we've already broken open our last reserves of factory-fresh spares. Replacement armor plating is low, especially ferrofibrous. Anything you break, we have to try to rebuild and jury-rig, so we can't guarantee performance. We can still bankroll salaries, and you've done well by us. If you want to stay, we'll feed you too. But your machines are now carrying the last effective combat load we can offer." He finishes his outline, dark pupils flicking across each of you. His face is tired, but the brightness in his eyes has never waned. He wanted you to see this, that Black Sparrow was spent. There are no supplies here, not for you, not for anyone. "If I may," he added, "I feel like this is your dilemma. If you stay here with us, we'd be pleased to have you. Maybe we can lay low until everything blows over, but it doesn't sound like the Royals have settled the family disagreement. One good attack means you can't resupply, and I feel like the sharks will come when they smell the blood. The other choice, maybe, is wager it on another supply raid. The gangs have to be low on supplies too, and they haven't had the kinds of repairs and support we have here. That might give you the edge you need." He held his hands up, palms outward, and stepped back. He didn't need to say it. These are strategic calls that you needed to make with your colleagues. "I'll leave you to it," he said. "You've done incredible work for us over the last 16 months. My people are safe, and that's all that matters. Whatever you decide, I'll be filing my references for you with the MHRB as soon as this planet stabilizes. On behalf of everyone at Black Sparrow, you have my thanks. Let us know what you'd like to do next." He offers each of you a handshake, firm and sincere, and heads off up the tunnel. You watch him go. None of this was a surprise. You'd seen the dwindling stocks, and Rookwood's careful effort to husband the supplies as carefully as possible. Every contract had to end eventually. And it was the end of this one. For now. Rookwood's right about a lot of things. Despite your best efforts to lay low with Black Sparrow, you'd been as caught up in the conflict as anyone. The lines of Sky and Claw and Order had both come apart under your guns, their territory snapped up by neighboring gangs, and half of them were in it as much for glory as plunder, it seemed. Someone would come eventually. There was still the matter of transport. Staying on Galatea under these conditions seemed a fool's errand, but no dropship pilot would be stupid enough to land while the gang still controlled Galaport. Neither option was good. You turned to the rest of your team for a long night of discussion.